is literally tricking your brain into believing that if you do not figure this shit out, you will die. Literally hating my day-to-day life, and that was to figure out dropshipping. Didn't go out, didn't party, didn't see friends, didn't do anything, just grinded. But the easiest way to skip past many mistakes you're gonna make is by... There's this one guy, I'm not gonna mention any names, and for some reason he thinks he knows it all. Like, he thinks he can teach people how to build stores, how to run ads, how to find products. Always remember, like, I was not gonna give up at all. There's no other options for you. This video is gonna be a very raw video. I'm sitting in my living room, and I want to tell you a little bit about money-making tips that made me millions in my 20s. So I'm 24, turning 25 this year, and I have already generated over like $12 million now in revenue. I'm also a millionaire, and I want to tell you how you can basically speed up the process to make more money, or just start making money in general. So my first tip is very broad, but it's very important to keep this in mind. Whenever you start something, if it's a business, it's something else. Now I'm starting on my fitness journey as well. Like, back in the day I was very ripped. I got very lazy. I built the business instead, focusing on that instead of my health. If you want something that everybody can get, there's one thing that's very important to keep in mind, and that is, as simple as it sounds, dedication to the grind. I can tell you how I started. So whenever I got into business and dropshipping in general, I literally, from one day to another, stopped everything outside of business. So didn't go out, didn't party, didn't see friends, didn't do anything, just grinded. Not telling you that's what you should do, but I'm telling you to keep in mind that when you start a business, there's somebody else just like me who is willing to sacrifice everything to get success. So if you're not willing to sacrifice, not partying every weekend and not going out every day or whatever, somebody else will. And I'm saying now, the guy who sacrificed the most is the guy who wins the fastest. Because the more you sacrifice, the more you will be able to dedicate yourself to do money-making activities. In the beginning, everything relates to the input you do. So input is output. That's not true when you get to a more advanced level. The more input you put in is not more output, because you'll get employees and you'll get systems, and you'll do all these different things which doesn't require you putting in input, but just generates output. But in the beginning, everything you do, everything that happens only from the input you put in it. So my biggest tip is to you watching right now, if you want to start dropshipping, you want to start something else, all the different businesses besides trading, that's fucking retarded. But if you want to do everything else, you need to dedicate yourself 100%, because if you're not doing that, somebody else will. And to round this tip off, keep in mind, okay, if you ask, maybe not your dad, but that's not everyone who worked really hard in their younger years, but if you ask your granddad, if you're so lucky to have one, ask him how much he worked when he was your age. And I guarantee you, for most people out there, he will tell you he worked like 5 to 7 days a week. Because at least my family, that's what they did. They worked their ass off. And that's normal. That was normal back in the day. It was normal not to have days off too much. You would literally work all the time. That was your life. You would work every day. Like, you would go to school, like it was a school guy, maybe like 5 days of school, 2 days of work in the weekends, because you just had to. That was normal. It's only, in the last 100 years, this 5 days work week came. Before that, we were just working, and you need to have that same mentality, that there's no days off. It's literally just all work. The second thing, this is by far one of those things that I did very, very good. I had instilled in my mind from the get-go I started dropshipping that either I would make this work or I would die in the pursuit of making money. Like, I was not gonna give up at all. Like, no way I would give up. I would keep going until I figured out how to replace my job and my future job with business. I think the easiest way to do this is literally tricking your brain into believing that if you do not figure this shit out, you will die. That was my belief. Like, I literally believed that if I did not pull this off, I would be a homeless fucking retard living off benefits of the government. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, that's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. But that was the worst thing that I could think of, is that either I would become a guy on benefits, because I didn't want to manage a job, or I had some low wage, annoying ass job that I didn't like and I hated, with a low salary as well. So in my mind, there was literally only one way to not get to this point of, literally hating my day-to-day life, and that was to figure out dropshipping. So I picked dropshipping, you could pick something else. It doesn't really matter too much, but if you decide to start, you need to create this false belief in your mind that it will work, and if it doesn't, something very bad will happen to you. I'm not saying that you should kill yourself if you don't make it work. You shouldn't do that. That's also insane. But you should believe in your mind that there's no other options for you. This is what you do. You started it, and it will work. It's just a matter of time. The only difference between you and yourself that made it is the time. Like, it's a time span. And that time span can vary from a year, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. It doesn't matter too much. And you truly believe that you can make this work, and there's no other options for you. Guarantee you, work will feel easier. You can work longer. You will never get exhausted. You will never feel the burnout, which is a very common thing to do when you work really, really hard. It's not possible, because if you don't do it, something bad will happen. This third tip, it's both meant for beginners, but also for more advanced people and just general people in business. You need to always remember, even though you should believe in yourself and that you got what it takes, you should always be humble. And you shouldn't believe that you figured all this stuff out. There's this one guy, I'm not gonna mention any names. He's doing YouTube videos. He's a pretty cool guy, I like him. Seems to have a very good personality, but he, for some reason, he hasn't made money, like real money yet. I think maybe like 5 figures. I don't even think he hit 6 figures yet. And for some reason, he thinks he knows it all. Like, he thinks he can teach people how to build stores, how to run ads, how to find products, supply, whatever. Like, he truly, I can tell he believes that he figured all this shit out. And he giving all this advice to people, but he didn't do anything yet, which I think is very wrong. Like, I would never take advice for somebody who didn't do something that I wanted to do, right? And I believe, this is just an example, right? He's at this pedestal where he's not humble anymore. And that will fuck him over in the long run. Because if you're not humble, you think you know it all, you will never advance in your skill set. Because why would you if you know it all? Like, you would, that doesn't make sense. Like, if you think you figured everything out, like, why would you try to expand on what you know? I'm trying to come up with a real life example that everybody knows. The best thing I can really think of is, if you stopped school in 4th grade and you believe you learned it all, math, language, whatever, you didn't. Like, you will never be able to do math for somebody who finished 9th grade, because you know so much more. There's a skill gap still, but in your mind you believe that you know everything, so you'll never be better at math. I don't know if that's a very good comparison, but it's just the one I can come up with. So you should always be humble. You should never be arrogant. You can learn something from everyone. Sure, the guy I mentioned before that I think is at this weird level where he thinks he's better than he really is. Sure, you could probably teach me something. Sure, absolutely. For your best interest long term, make sure to humble yourself. Make sure to always ask for help and never believe you know everything. And the fourth thing here is literally the only reason why I made money to begin with. So this goes out to all beginners out there, also more advanced people, also myself. I need to hear this sometimes. You need to network and invest in yourself. And let me explain what I mean by this. So in the beginning, all it could literally be is buying a video course from somebody, just so you have a little bit of knowledge and you can get, the basics. You can understand the basics, and you can, see how to set up a Facebook campaign, see like a strategy in general. So you have some kind of basic knowledge of the business you want to do, right? And then later on you can invest in more in yourself, like invest in mentorships and stuff like that. But the easiest way to skip past many mistakes you're gonna make is by investing in yourself, in courses, communities, mentorships. Let me give you a good example. Right now I am making 1 to 1.5 million a month. I'm making really, really good profit. Like anywhere, like around $300,000 is probably around that mark. Some months, of course, lower because it's, different seasons for everything, but that's around the mark of money I make. I have one big lack in my business right now. I don't know how to run Google ads. And when you scale up a store with Facebook ads, a very good way when you get to like 2K spend a day is starting to make Google campaigns, search campaigns, in general Google advertising. It's an easy way to keep your ads more efficient on Facebook and people who saw your ad but couldn't remember the website. Easy way to get back to them. And I don't know how to run Google ads. So what can I do? There's a few things I can do. I can either 1, hire people who can run Google ads for me. 2, I could buy a course that teaches me how to run Google Ads. So what do you think I did? I did both, but that's also a very specific situation because I'm making quite good money. It's very valuable to me. So for the time being, I hired people to do it, but at some point I also want to learn it myself so I know how to do it. If I wasn't making good money from the stores, I just couldn't hire a guy to do Google Ads because I wouldn't be able to track if he was doing a good job. But now, because I make good money, I can afford paying for somebody who has been referred to me by other people who can vouch for his work. Yeah, that's of course also the power of making more money, but back to my point. It's a very good way of enhancing your skill set is by investing in courses, mentorships, communities even. Like it could just be a Discord for $50 a month where you have a video course and you have people to talk to. You have no idea how valuable that is for your learning process of having the ability to either ask people, what's a video course? Like it's so valuable for you. If you really use it if you really use it the right way, it will shorten your journey with minimum 50%. So let's say your journey was set to take 3 years. If you buy into courses and mentorships, you can cut that time in half to a year and a half. So that's just to understand how valuable it is to invest in yourself and keep doing it no matter what level you get to. There's always people knowing more than you, and people knowing more than you is more than willing to sell their information for money because everybody loves to make money. I also love to make money. Everybody I know loves to make money. So, and they usually guys who can teach you stuff. They are making money on the thing they want to teach you, so they don't have time to do it for free. You need to keep that in mind. That's why it's a course. That's why it costs money. That's why it's a mentorship, because they would not be able to afford to teach you for free. Like, why would they do that? Like, it's for extra money. So yeah, that was tip number 4. Let's go to tip number 5 and the last tip. It's more for advanced people, but also generally just beginners, but it's more angled towards advanced people who are making money, basically. So no matter what level you are at, you should always seek to learn more. Like, you should always try to better yourself. That should literally be what you do. So every single day you wake up with the intention to be better than you were yesterday. That's your business. That's what you want to do. So whenever you have the chance to ask people questions, more advanced people than you, or just people who do the same business as you and making this, like, they could be a little bit worse than you, but ask them about their opinion on stuff if there's something you don't know. If you always ask questions, you will always get answers and you will always learn more. I can also recommend to really just do the most basic things. Follow people on Twitter. Literally follow big media buyers and e-com guys on Twitter, and you will learn on a weekly basis so much more, because they give out valuable information. Because, you know, if they usually are on Twitter, they give out a lot of value, because if they have some kind of info product or just, you know, have a big following, it's a very easy way for people to get their thoughts out. Twitter, X, whatever. You can learn a lot from them. You can also learn, let's say, some weeks on Facebook, there is some issues, general issues, performance issues. They're releasing some new updates. It's not always that Facebook will tell you this. If you go to X, you can literally see this, because media buyers will tell you, oh, by the way, I heard from this guy, there is an update. And then 10 people confirm, oh yeah, I see the performance drop as well. And then you know, okay, I'm not doing anything wrong. It's just Facebook right now. I don't have to panic. Wait for a week. Usually that's how long it takes. The performance is back to normal. That's it. That's so valuable to you, because you don't have to stress about, oh, I fucked up with my ads. I did something all wrong on the product page. No, it's just the time. And yeah, just in general as well, read newsletters, sign up to the newsletters from marketing agencies, Shopify, Facebook, all these people. Also watch YouTube videos. Like, watch YouTube videos, not these edited videos from people, you know, mental masturbation, but more these advanced people who give out actual advice on business. Like, it's more for business people, it's not so much for dropshipping in general. There's not so many like real highly advanced dropshipping YouTubers. I don't think there's any highly advanced ones, more beginner friendly ones. That's what people view. Like, it's not really for advanced people, it's not a lot. So yeah, instead of, you know, just watching TikToks or Reels, try to educate yourself. There's still entertainment in the form of YouTube videos and Twitter and X and stuff like that, but it's better than, you know, watching Reels. So yeah, guys, I hope you like this video. A little bit different format today, you know, sitting in my living room here with a cup of coffee. My day is almost over. Worked hard today. Wildly productive day. I'm having a really good streak right now, like with very, very productive kill days. I don't work too much. I sleep very well, but it's very productive work I'm getting done. And yeah, if you could use this information to anything, and if you like these sit-down videos where I just sit in my couch and speak and yap about things I think about, put a comment down below. Besides that, good luck, and I believe in you.